Yes! Yes!
हरे कृष्ण बलराम लीला प्रभु।
हरि बोल जाए.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhu.
Jai Dandava.
And sorry, I'm not able to come on video. Please
Okay.
bear with me.
Well,
I'm seeing your lotus face. Looks good.
I'm visualizing.
You can visualize.
Like for Krishna, we have to do, no? Krishna doesn't show his. all the-
Krishna doesn't show all the time. Once in a while.
Yeah.
Krishna
So,
Bhakta is very merciful than Krishna himself.
yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to be one. That's a good example of this thing.
Pure devotee.
Right.
More merciful. Prabhu, you look so good actually. You didn't shave or what?
By your kind, you have given me that instruction, so I try to shave daily
Okay.
because you always told me for that.
You used to kill me like, why you're not shaving? Why you are not doing this? Why you are not doing that? I'll be like, enough, please. I remember those conversations. You
I
used to
will tell
argue
you
with
like that.
me.
Why you're not shaving?
Of course, you control everything of me, right?
Oh, amazing. Well, Nityagram Prabhu used to shave daily. How often you shave? You shave.
I used to shave maybe once in a week like that. Nitya Gauranga will shave every day pretty much, right? I mean, he was
Oh
having a
yeah, he was like he is
uh,
like the hero now of the Tollywood. I don't know what
he,
would they say, Tollywood or Hollywood in Hyderabad. He is like that. So
he's the demigod,
he,
Prabhu.
he has to shave every day. That's a different.
Useless fellow.
There you go.
Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah. It was nice to meet our Naveen Krishna Prabhu and Devidishri Mataji.
amazing, actually, yeah.
Yeah, they came and saw the library. Actually, they have been supporters of BRC from before because Hariswari Prabhu used to visit Seattle.
Oh,
So Krishna Kirtan Prabhu, them, even I had contributed some, but Krishna Kirtan Prabhu and them, they have been contributing regularly.
oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah. So they again contributed something today. They became a patron
Nice,
today.
nice people.
Yeah, because they were doing and then they didn't do for some time, but now they again contributed. So I was spent yesterday, went to Prabhupada's birthplace with them and then showed them the entire library and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We are doing that 150th year exhibition thing of
Oh, yeah.
Bhakti Sansari
Bhakti
Thakur
Siddhanta. Yeah, yeah.
in Mayapur, February 29. So
Mm.
this was Brajvilas Prabhu's idea only.
Oh, okay.
So we went and met Prabhuji and some other senior leaders like Bhakti Purushottam Swami Maharaj, others were also there. So that was nice to connect. So that would happen. Yeah. Okay, and hopefully in the US also
Yes, Prabhuji.
this year.
So,
Okay, so I
so you
won't take much
there
of
only.
your sorry.
So you will be there only till 150th anniversary
Yeah,
liberation.
I'll be in Mayapur. I'll be in Mayapur 150th. February 29 is the actual date.
Mm.
Yeah. So I'll be in Mayapur at that time. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we will be doing that exhibit for. I mean, that exhibit will stay there for longer, I think. But I'll be there at least for maybe for a week or so there.
Mm.
Or they could be longer also. Yeah.
Super,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Okay. All right. So I'm just trying to see something here. Okay. Anyway, let's have the discussion. I was trying to see if I
Correct.
grabbing some little bit of sweet breakfast while I'm going to talk to you. Okay, so you heard it. I heard. I couldn't hear the whole thing actually, but I went through the notes and everything properly,
Mm.
and oh,
Okay,
and therefore
Prabhu.
I sent you in the document.
Correct.
Oh, you want to share any quick thoughts first? And
Yeah. So yes, Prabhu. 1 minute. I just I went through that very carefully. Okay.
And what is
So,
your idea also? Because you know the people and all that. So you can give some idea also about how
so basically,
overall you are planning to present to them.
yeah. So
Then-
basically, yeah. I want to address the why temple first,
Yeah.
right? There are many temples out there. Like there's the Austin Hindu temple, Sai Baba temple, Venkateshwara temple. Every Madhavas they have temple. Shiva Vaishnavas have the temple.
Hmm.
Shivites the temple. So like there are many temples. So why do we need one more temple? This generally the Indians think like that. And
Yes.
there's a Kalu
Because these are
Maharaj,
not
Prem
ISKCON people.
Mandir.
They are thinking, yeah. Yeah.
Correct. Prem Mandir is there. So I thought of addressing that first.
Yeah, because Prem Mandir is a
And
very big one there, yeah.
correct. So why do we need? Why do we have almost 1,600 restaurants in Austin?
1,000 what?
Why do we need 1,600 restaurants in Austin.
Thousands of restaurants.
1,600 restaurants, Prabhu.
Or
Total.
1,600 restaurants, yes.
So why do we have that many restaurants?
Yeah.
Just one is enough, or two is enough, three is enough, right? Why do we have that much? So I want to
Yeah.
ask question like that. And
Yeah.
there are like almost 14 malls. If you go to
Hmm.
these malls, you see the same shops only, Macy's, JC, Penny, you name it.
Yeah.
But there are 14 malls. Why do we have 14 malls?
Yeah.
So things like that, right? So I want to logically address that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Good.
similarly, the demand is more. So there are every street there is a two churches. In my street alone, I have two churches,
Yeah, we should talk about that. Yeah.
right? So we don't question all these things, but when it comes to temple, we all have this question: why do we have another temple?
Yeah.
Christians are not asking this question. Muslims are not asking this question.
Yeah.
But Hindus
Yeah.
have this problem. Why do we need another temple? And
Yeah.
so on. But you won't ask other questions because there is a necessity. I'm not questioning we should not have mall. I'm not saying all these things. But there is a demand and there is a need. So based on the need, there are a number of malls or more, number of restaurants, blah, blah, blah. So there is a spiritual need exist in the
Yeah.
fabric of the society.
Yeah.
So we need one. And this is how we are different. So I will talk about Srila Prabhupada's modern mission, this seven mission that Prabhupada has, and how to
Hmm.
make this in
How
general.
you are then different also is a very important
Right.
part of the whole thing, because it's not so that you'll be able to present it
Absolutely,
appropriately.
Prabhu. Absolutely. Right. So, so that I will address the why question. Why do we exist? And
Yeah.
what do we do? And how do we do? And that's how we are different from others.
I can, because you know that I do the charismatic talks thing. So,
Yes.
I can help you develop your pitch also in a way.
That'll be awesome. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, Prabhu. So I'm
That
just giving the high level for
whatever
this.
you have right now, you can share, we can discuss, and then I
Okay.
can help you develop also in a better way. Maybe.
Definitely. Yeah, that'll be awesome, Prabhu. I
Yeah.
can share with you what, like my thought process,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
fine tune for me.
Yeah. 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 Because
But
I'll use the principles which I've been teaching. So,
correct.
um,
For tomorrow, I'm
yeah.
just telling you the framework, how I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just that.
So, one thing based on what you said, if you are going to first about why so many temples, yeah, before that, maybe a,
Hmm.
maybe a point could be just to uh, first we talk, maybe, if you are saying that, basically, one point could be just as to why a temple itself. First of all, why a temple? Before talking about why so many temples,
Hmm.
the
Why
first
do we
question is
want?
why a temple? What does it? Because people assume that they know why a temple, but actually
That's
we
it.
can go a little deeper in that.
Oh, yes, Prabhu, please. Let's
So
do that.
why a temple? And before that, the question will be, um, and another question could be, see, the whole idea of any powerful presentation is you need to have the right questions
Hmm.
in place. What is the question you are addressing is the most important thing, not
Hmm.
what you are presenting. That will just follow. The most important thing is the question. The smart guys
Hmm.
will ask the right question and then address it. So throughout the talk, it's just a series of questions you are answering. And the better your questions are, the better your presentation is.
Got it.
Whether you explicitly tell them as a question or not, that's a detail. Sometimes you will tell them. So why? Sometimes you may not say, but still you are answering a question. They're always knowing what question I'm answering.
Correct.
That is
So,
the
Prabhu,
fundamental principle. So I'm just taking a few points what you said. Why a temple? What is a temple? Like that. So, but question first is good to ask always the question as to why a temple. So then, but before somebody is maybe you can think about it. But why a temple? But before related to that is what is a temple, and so you can share your thoughts on it as to what you feel also appropriate, and then maybe I can say point also. Well, then you can, I think, come to the point of, but we already have one. Because if they strongly establish why a temple and what is a temple, then the question of why so many temples, in one sense, it will become redundant also. And you automatically are addressing the main point that you are dealing with it in such a scientific way that your temple is going to be unique because it teaches the science already. Everybody else is just creating a temple saying, oh, yeah, temple because it's India, it's our culture, that's why we need to do. Correct? Like that. But you are going deeper than that. You're addressing the fundamental aspect of it. That already established, which is the unique gift that Prabhupada has given, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given, in a way. So you are already addressing that by answering these questions appropriately. That's what makes you unique. It will become a system of a premium institute of education and culture. It's not. It will truly become the rock solid base, bedrock of the culture, because you will be. It will be a place to teach and practice and exhibit these very critical aspects of the culture.
Yeah, it's a place of education and learning, right?
Yeah.
And
It's a place of education and learning.
Yeah, and
And
the knowledge of
so
spiritual science will
yeah.
teach.
Yeah. So all of that has to be brought out appropriately, that you can address anyways in that way. By talking about why a temple, first of all, is the first and important question. Does it make sense?
Oh yeah, totally makes sense, Prabhu. I think that's very nice way you put it. Sure, Prabhu. I'll think about that. Or maybe you
But
can
I
help
can tell
me.
you now also, if you have some quick points,
Please.
or I will tell you now.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. You go ahead, and I do have some points, but so
because
let me tell you
everybody has
what
a
I'm
certain,
thinking.
you have a certain idea and flavor, right? Of what you feel comfortable saying.
See, Prabhu, I mean, it's a natural for the people of like-minded, right, for them to congregate, to associate with others, like-minded people, to grow. For example, we have Doctors Association, we have a Stockbrokers Association, you name it, right? So people who have a common goal, common aspiration, common interest in life, they form their own association to further their own interest. It is very natural human behavior. So devotees congregate. For devotees also, we want to congregate in the temple and learn how to practice bhakti, how to serve the Lord, and learn the bhakti scriptures. So such association will be inspiring and very instructive.
Yeah.
That is one. Second is
okay.
Just, talking out loud. And again, temple, we don't see it as just, I think you use this word. It's not evangelical. We are not evangelical organization. We are, we also like.
No, this one go. Okay, sorry. I was listening.
And it's also it's a place of spiritual education. Right. It's education and learning and teaching to conduct our life and things like that.
Okay. Just one second, Prabhu. कुछ
Yeah.
स्टील वाला धुने वाला है अपने पास स्टील का there was one before वो स्टील का होता है ना ये वाला था नहीं ये स्टील का नहीं क्योंकि वो उससे ये जाएगा मेरे पास, ये जाएगा उससे, ये इसके पास है नीचे, इधर नीचे इसके पास नहीं आएगा तो शंकर भंडार के पास पक्का रहेगा। ये वाला मैं ला देता हूँ, मुझे रहेगी और इसको जरा धो देगा, मेरे को इसमें मेरे पास है ही नहीं कुछ बनाने का, वो बट वो ही नहीं सब, ये तो बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा है वो वाला, इसको भी बना सकते हैं वैसे, या इसमें बना सकते हैं एक बार के लिए, इसको जरूर छोड़ दीजिए, इसमें बना सकते हैं। बाद में ले आएगा वो, है ना? हाँ, इसको धो दीजिए, हाँ इनको धो दीजिएगा। Oh, just give me 2 minutes ago. I'm just put the.
Sure, Prabhu.
एक छोटा कटोरी भी है। हाँ है। उधर लीजिए। ठीक है, आप ऊपर में रख सकते हैं।
मैं 100 ग्राम बोला था आपको, पैकेट नहीं था 100 ग्राम का।
आपको नहीं चाहिए तो मैं रिटर्न कर दूंगा, कोई बात
मिलेगी ना, अच्छा क्वालिटी नहीं आता इधर,
हाँ।
इसलिए वो मैं इसलिए कम ऑर्डर किया था। ठीक है। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु।
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that point you have to solidify a little bit. You said, okay, that was one point.
That is one point. Second is
That,
like
that one point you said association. Everybody needs association. That's one. The second you said
that is
as
one,
as an education institute.
spiritual education. Third is, see, we cannot see that Krishna is everywhere. Therefore, it is important to come to temple to see God in a way that is tangible for our senses.
Okay.
Oh, right? It's not a statue. Deity is not a statue. We are not idol worshipper.
Okay.
So, but the deity pertains to Supreme Lord. So the deity of the Lord is actual representation of the Lord within this material world according to scriptures in the form of material elements. Right? So we need so that's another reason why. So temple is a place where you can have this authorized representation of God.
Okay, good, very nice. So you can make a note of these. I can share some points also. I made a note of your 3 points. One is education, institution, association of like-minded people, and third was tangibly connecting with God, or you know, otherwise we
Right.
can't. Yeah,
I
these are
give this
3 points. You said.
example. Yes, Prabhu. If someone wants to drink water, we cannot tell him to take it from the cloud directly.
Yeah,
Tell him to take it from the underground, right? It will be difficult for that person to get water.
yeah.
But if we give water in a glass, they can easily drink it. So that's what the temple is. So if
Okay,
the
that's
Lord
a good example.
resides in Vaikuntha Loka,
Hmm.
it's very far away, but we are not there yet. It
Hmm.
will be tough to reach Vaikuntha Loka and see God.
Hmm.
And Krishna is also seated in our heart as Paramatma, but again, it will be tough to see him in our heart also because we are not
Hmm.
purified yet. So seeing that a deity in the temple is like getting water in a cup. It's easy.
Good. All good.
I can see the Lord with my own eyes. I can appreciate and render various types of services to him. And
Uh-huh.
that's
Yes.
why we need a temple. So God has Krishna has manifested in the form of a deity, so we can
Yeah.
see him, serve him in a very, very easy way.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'll
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So these are good points. Let me share with you one thought I had.
sure, Prabhu.
You can see if it is. I put that in the document. That this is one. This is one. In one sense, a little bit of a philosophical this thing, but
Sure, Prabhu.
uh, we can do it actually.
Philosophical is good.
I was thinking about two different actually. Uh, Two different ways of, but because you said why a temple, maybe we can go from here also.
Hmm.
There is a so maybe there are 2 or 3 different ways, and if it's getting one here, you can stop it. Yeah. एक चम्मच or something. चम्मच. One second. Right. You- Yes, Abu. So
I'm here,
there are
Prabhu. Yeah.
actually, I'm not finalized, but there are, if you think of why a temple, you could go about it in different ways. One is, there is an example of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada was asked this question: why are you not, feeding the poor? Why are you creating a temple, etc., like that? Okay, so you may be knowing this story, but Prabhupada was driving in a car at that time, and one of our Indian gentlemen was asking him this question. Okay, hello, hello.
Prabhu, I'm hearing. Sorry, I muted and I'm talking. Yes, I'm
Yes.
hearing.
So basically, so then he gave 3. So then he said, okay, we are driving in a car right now, and then you will see, let's say you see a child on the road who looks very in a very
Last.
lost and distressed condition, like
Hmm.
really in what's it called? What is the right way to say that? In a very destitute position, actually, very like torn clothes, just looking like almost like a beggar, in a very.
Hmm.
I'm forgetting the right word, but destitute, right? It's looking like a destitute is the right word.
Yeah, destitute is
Very,
the right word. Yeah.
yeah. So in a very Yeah, very distressed, destitute condition. So, what are the options that you have? So now you'd happen to notice with the corner of it that you know this boy. You know this boy.
Hmm.
You know of this boy. Okay. So what are the options you have? There are three options, three levels of option. The worst option is, have you heard this before?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I heard it, but I want to hear Prabhu. Please go ahead.
Okay, so the first option is that the worst option is you ignore. I don't have the time. It is just karma. Move on.
Mhm.
Right? Maybe maximum you pray. Okay, for him.
Yeah.
So that's one option. The second option is that, in fact, you could even think about the very worst option. You could even,
Hmm.
not just ignore him. That nobody will do, but you are so careless about it that you may, run over that child yourself, or hurt him even more. That could
Hmm.
be the worst.
Right, right.
That you're not careful about it and all that. You end up hurting him more through your car or something. Another better
Yeah.
than that is you're ignoring him. Within that, the option is you're ignoring, but you're praying for him. Okay, or something like that. I don't know, you wish him well or
Yeah.
something like that. But you don't do anything. The second option, or if you want to say the hurting is the first option, the second is not doing
Ignoring.
anything, but ignoring. The better option than that is you'd want to do something for him. So you get down the car, you do something for him, you 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 feed him, etc. Right? You
Hmm.
ask him how he's doing, you feed him and all that. Maybe you even get uh, maybe you actually get a job for him also. You make him earn also. Give him some
Hmm.
money. That could be better. You feed him, you give him some money, and better you could even get a job for him. That's it. Okay,
Hmm.
that's better, right? Obviously, that's better.
Absolutely.
But there is a much better option than that. There's another option. What better can you do than that?
Take him to his father.
Yes, that's it. So because you know of that person, why is he
Hmm.
away from his father and mother? Why is he away from his family? That's the primary question.
Hmm.
So if
Hmm.
you can do something to connect him back to his father and mother, all the problems are taken care of.
Right.
And so that is basically the highest social welfare activity. The others are also. I mean, hurting is the worst. Ignoring, or at the most praying is better, but you're not doing anything. And regular social services, okay, give people some food, give people some. So who is that child? The child, you have to say, is you, me, all of us.
Hmm.
Basically, the child is basically everybody in this
Hmm.
world. So if we see another person and we see he's in a distressed condition, these are things. So we are thinking, okay, yeah, let's say give him some food, let's say give him some money, give him some job, etc. Do economic development. This is economic development. The second option is, in one sense, help do economic development for that person, basically.
Hmm.
Help him in some way. You could even help him emotionally in some way, whatever, like that. But
Hmm.
the point to ask is really, you may do that, all of that, and he may become very nice also. But if he is disconnected from his root, from
Hmm.
his family, then he would be. And that we know by our experience also. That, if we are disconnected, you can give a child everything, all kinds of toys, and you tell him, but I won't give you your mother. I'll just give you the child. I'll give you all toys. I'll give you everything. I won't give you the mother. Then
Hmm.
what would the child feel? What would the child? At the end of the day, you can take all the toys away, just give the mother, and he'll be happy, right?
Correct.
So, so that point is the highest social service. The other is also a social service, but this is the highest social service, and this I relate to also you can relate to. I put that in the document. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives a hierarchy, right? Indriyani para ahur, indriyebhya paramanah, manasastu para buddhir, yo buddhe paratastu saha. Uh, huh, I'm just making a note also. So, not his mother. So then, so there is a hierarchy Krishna gives, because see, these people are pious people anyway. So they will, anyway, in general, also people believe the Bhagavad Gita, but they are more pious, and you can, this is another this thing. So higher than matter is the senses, indriyani. Higher than senses is the mind, mana. Higher than mind is the intelligence, and higher than intelligence is the soul. So what I want is one of our strengths, Prabhu. See, we have to. So when you're making a presentation, you have to play on your strengths. You have to realize what is your strength. So your strength here is what Prabhupada has given us in terms of the strength, and that is we have Shastric base. We have Shastric knowledge. We have to play that card. You have to quote verses, some, because others are not able to do that. And that is their deficiency. We are based on Shastra. We are not just showing it off. Right? So, so that is our strength, and that's a good strength. That's what Krishna wants. And all that. It's not just a marketing gimmick. But at the same time, it has to be utilized now also. So this verse is there in the Ani Parahur, like that. So that means you may help somebody's body, may help somebody's mind also in one way. Body is giving them food and this and everything. That's good. Okay, you help their senses and all of that. And you may help somebody's mind, give them some emotional relief, like that you can, right? You can give them some help to their intelligence also, give them some job, this other thing, they can utilize their intelligence nicely, right? And make a living on all of that. But the highest is the person, the soul himself. Who is this soul? That is the question. Gita is coming to that point, not just staying at the point of, at the level of just the mind, intelligence, soul, or even just at the level of regular society in general, if we think of social norms, morality, etc. Gita is talking about the soul, spiritual. Krishna is talking about that. So who is the soul? Soul has two parts. One point it is Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yovanam ja. Tatha dehantara prapte dhirastatra mujati. It is an eternal soul. Na jayate mrete va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita anabhuya. Yeah. It doesn't die. It's a body is a dress that dies, but that's already dead. If the soul is changing, the soul is changing those dresses. That's it. But the soul doesn't change. Those dresses are changing. So he is eternal. The second point is 15.6, where it says Mamaye Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. So he is eternal, but it belongs to God. That is the main point, that it belongs to God. So this point that is why this activity, the welfare for the soul, is that he has to be connected back to who he belongs to. That is the same point which we made. The child has to be connected to who he belongs to. You may provide him all kinds of a facility I'm not saying that is not required, right? You need food, you need some money, you need all of that, obviously, right? So that is there.
Right.
So we are not denying that. That is, that is needed. But as it is mentioned in the hierarchy, much more needed. That's by our own example. I can give you, I can give you all kinds of facility, but I take all the loved ones away from you. What do you feel? Or I take all their, people who really love you, they will all go away. So what do you feel? What do you feel then, basically? you feel completely lost, right? So this example is that I can, we can so always try to connect with people at the level which they are. So we can give, take our own example. We can give someone everything and just take away, um, from them their um, loved ones.
Mm.
That's it. So that's what we are talking about in this highest welfare thing. You are
Mm.
giving the supreme loved one
Mm.
to. So we are here. You can say right now, I am on a mission here on the direction of my Guru, direction of my Param Guru, Srila Prabhupada,
Correct.
previous Acharyas, and God Himself, as He says in the Bhagavad Gita.
Mm.
So you are in the
It's a
mission to
very
give the
amazing
supreme,
point you are making. Yeah.
in the mission to give the supreme loving person.
Mm.
There is a story also in that I had shared with you earlier when I had visited Dallas a long time back, I think.
Mm.
So this is our mission. See, you have to tell people, Prabhuji, this is not a temple. This is a mission.
Mm.
That's why I like the word missionary. It's not just meant for Christians. We are also
Mm.
missionary. Hare Krishna mission, Hare Krishna movement, Hare Krishna mission. So you are in the mission, Prabhu. You tell people you are on a mission. It has to come across like that. That fire has to be felt.
Mm.
That fire goes into their heart and makes them contribute. That's
Mm.
when they feel like, whoa. Like you've seen Braj Vilas Prabhu talking. Everybody will
Yeah.
talk differently. It's not like you have to imitate, but the spirit has to be there. Now it may translate in a different way according to your personality. You may say it in a little different way, but the fire has to be there, and the missionary spirit has to be there, right? So you are on the mission to give the supreme loving person to people. That's your mission.
Got
You
it.
want to fulfill that. And I shared with you that example, the lottery example. Uh,
Yeah.
this relates to the same thing. If you win a lottery and you're winning a lottery and you are told that you will own the city that you're living in. So
Mm.
that's like billions and trillions of dollars you get immediately. All facilities, everything will be provided for you. But the fine print is there, you will be the only one in the city.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the only one in the city, what do you feel? You will be. So you can ask them also this. What
Bored.
do you feel? You feel distressed, lonely, this another thing. After after some time, you are sitting in their house, right? You said suddenly, let's say everybody in this house vanishes. And only you are there. One person is there. That's it. Okay,
Mm.
for 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 hours, 1 day, 2 day, 1 week, and you can't interact with anybody, but you'll be given all the food, all the facilities, everything. You'll not be hungry. All you have the facilities, but you can't interact with anybody. You can't see
Mm.
anybody. You can't talk to anybody. You can't hear anybody. Okay, let's say no interaction, but you are the owner of this house or of this city or whatever. Okay, like that. So what do you feel? People will feel. Everybody will say, "Oh my God, that's like a that's right." Nobody will feel happy about that. They feel distressed, right? And after some time, in fact, they would not even want to live.
Mm.
They will become fearful. Fear will also come, by the way. You become fearful. It's amazing. When you're alone, you become fearful. Huh?
Correct.
So become fearful and dreadful. You don't want to live anymore at the end of the day.
Mm.
So what is missing? That you want to interact with another soul. Again, soul wants to interact with the soul, won't be satisfied with matter, like what was said earlier. Soul wants to interact with another soul, not satisfied with matter.
Hmm.
Because you have all the matter, but you are feeling distressed, fearful, want to die. Even an ant comes into the room, you'll start interacting with the ant. Oh, I tell the example. There's a movie Castaway. A long time back, there was a movie called Castaway. Tom Hanks. He got
Hmm.
cast away. He was in a aeroplane. The aeroplane crashed, and he ended up in an island all by himself.
Hmm.
Nobody was there on the island. So he had to pass some years that way. But he could live because the island had vegetation and all of that. But there was no person there. So
Hmm.
he actually somehow or other that plane had a volleyball and things like something like that. So he put a eyes and ears on the volleyball, and he started interacting with the volleyball.
Hmm.
Like he wanted to make volleyball a friend. And one day that volleyball got swept away in another somewhere. So he was crying. So we all need person. And that's where you need person, but you also need good people, right? If you have person who is like horrible and who is like, proud and this and there's so many nonsense qualities, right? Um, doesn't understand you, doesn't care, this another thing, right? Always
Hmm.
bullies you or whatever. Some whatever nonsense. Who likes such to be with such people? So you want to be with better people, better people who have better qualities. That means you're looking for better, and take it to the very end. You're looking for the best person eventually.
Right.
That best person by definition is God. So
Hmm.
eventually we are looking for God. We are all.
Yeah, all good personality.
Yes. So you're looking for God. So first you are looking for a person. The soul is looking for a person. Nobody can be happy. And we are looking eventually for the best person. That is God. So you are in this thing to give the best. You're in a mission to give that supremely best, perfect, loving person to people. This is the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is singing the song Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita means song of God. He's
Hmm.
singing the song. The main thing he's saying, he's calling us back. Come to me,
Correct.
come to me, come to me, come to me, come to me. Even in the end, he says, "Na manmana bhavam bhakto madaji mam namaskuru mameshwasi satyam te prati jane mam evashyasi satyam te." You will come to me, you will come to me, you will come to me. So he's always calling us back. It's like the Father calling us back. So we are doing the mission of the Bhagavad Gita, the mission of our Shastras, the mission of any true religion to bring the lost soul, the lost child back to God. That's
Hmm.
what we are engaged in.
In
So
temple.
if
Hmm.
this temple is a place for, let's say centralizing all the energies and all the facilities available, you know, to be utilized for this one purpose of bringing people to them. It's like you try to laser focus and
Hmm.
towards that. So this is one place which is going to teach you that, the one place is going to facilitate that, make everybody's association, this and everything. Is that one place which will do that for you. Temple, so you have to understand it. That's a mission. You say, I'm on a mission here.
Hmm.
What is that mission? And that mission to bring people to the supreme loving person.
Right.
Okay, but that's the only goal. And that is done by erecting an institution. It's not just a building, an institution, an educational institution, a cultural institution, where we basically bring all train people in all aspects of life,
Hmm.
um, to bring them to God,
Right.
to bring them to the supremely best person, which is the only thing, essentially, the primary thing which any soul is
Hmm.
is looking for that way.
So,
And
Prabhu,
so,
Go
yeah,
ahead, go ahead. Finish it.
yeah, yes,
One question. Generally, people ask in that story that you said, right? The Prabhupada story. The son is destitute boy.
yeah,
three options. Ignore, give him economic development. Third is connect with him, reconnect him with his parents, right?
Yeah.
So some people take it as an only they do option three, but the person may need some immediate help, material help.
Yes. So
So what's your
we will do second and third both. We will do the second. Our temple will give them food. Our temple, and that's what relates to, in one sense, you can give the example of Ayodhya also now. This is a very beautiful point. See, people say, I will just do two, right? I will just do second option
correct?
because that's what people need right now. Our point is, yes, so you need them, you want to give them food, you give them everything on second by first giving them by creating the wrapper of the third. Basically, the third has to be there in everything.
Correct.
If the third is there, the second will follow. That's the point. It will follow, even immediately, not after a long time. Because as soon as you have the temple, the food is there. The food is being served. It's being served now also. The food will be served, and etc. And economic development will happen. You can see the example of Ayodhya. Ayodhya is flourishing like anything now. So many visitors, so much this, so many people coming up with songs, so many people with sculpture, architecture, you name it. All kinds of skills are getting used. Dance, drama, this, you name it. All kinds of skills, every aspects of cultures are getting used. What does it mean they're getting used? That means people who have all of these skills, they are getting economic development.
Yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, what did you say? It's a wrapper? Option
The
two will
third
be
is like a wrapper around the two, the second one, because it will be touching everything. It is the first thing. The first thing has to be Ram. And when Ram comes into play, or when Narayan Ram comes into play, Sita will follow. When Narayan comes into play, Lakshmi will follow. But what we are trying to say, get me Lakshmi.
correct.
What we are trying to say, get me Sita. That's a Ravan technique. The Hanuman technique is serve Ram, get the Sita. For Ram, and that will automatically mean that you will also get all the blessings from Sita.
Correct. We discussed
This is a
that, yeah.
very key point. In fact, our whole thing is economic development follows a spiritual culture, not the other way.
Yeah, material welfare follows spiritual welfare,
Yes.
right?
So
So,
this is a very important. I've written down this point. Material welfare. So the second point is people are saying material welfare. We are not saying no material welfare. We are saying it will follow the spiritual welfare. If you connect the child to the father, automatically the child's economic needs are taken care of. He doesn't remain a destitute beggar on the street, does he? He doesn't. If it's done appropriately. Obviously, if somebody cheats in that, they create a temple, but they cheat the money. Correct. So that's like you are trying to pose like Hanuman, but you're actually Ravan inside.
correct.
That's the worst thing. And we're not saying that has not happened. Right. But that's the worst thing. But that's not, that's the person is Ravan only inside. He's just posing as Hanuman. We're talking about really being Hanuman. Then in that case, you bring Sita to Ram. That means the opulence to be used in the service of Ram. So the opulence being used to create a big temple, opulence being used to teach the Lord Ram's message, Ram's name, all of that, do everything for that. It will lead to all kinds of development, economic development, cultural development, artistic development, every skill, every part of culture. But different people have different skills. If they utilize those skills and everything appropriately, then they can sustain their lives, not just sustain their lives, they can prosper. That is why India was the greatest economic powerhouse also, because it had the spiritual powerhouse first. And that led to India being what is called a Sone ki Chidiya. It was the golden bird.
Correct.
So this is the point which a lot of people will connect with, especially people who are, a very pious Hindus, etc. Like they will very much connect with that. So this point is, you have to somehow or other, you'd have to bring up this point that economic development and all kinds of material development in the society will follow. So you yourself can question this. Somebody may ask, well, hey, but immediately he needs food, immediately he needs money. You're talking about God, right? Well, we are saying if you serve God, all of this will follow. An example is right here. Giving prasadam, giving uh, different kinds of facilities for all kinds of skills, etc. like that. It will follow. It will follow. And it's a good time to talk about the example of Ayodhya and talk about example of ancient India. That people were working, were utilizing all of their skills for that purpose. So this is what will happen. It will happen. In fact, there is so much depth of knowledge, etc., in the Vedic culture and education that you can also talk about, because we will be an educational institute. We teach people not just Bhagavad Gita, but so many other aspects of broader Vedic knowledge. We'll facilitate that, which can
Right.
be utilized. People can study Vedic maths. People can, other things. You can teach various things to people. We were doing at Vedic University. Now ISKCON temples don't end up doing it so much. But you can teach so many aspects. You can teach management skills based on Bhagavad Gita, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
You can teach how to speak based on Bhagavad Gita. That's like my charismatic talks I derive from that.
Right, Prabhu. Yeah.
You can teach so many family values, etc. All of those things based on not just the Gita, but so many other aspects. Ayurveda, yoga, there's so many other things. All of these are coming from the message of the Vedic scriptures, right? So your
Correct.
temple is going to become that place which is going to teach people all of these things. So they are contributing to a very highest premium educational institute. And in fact, which will not just teach you about, it will teach you both career along with character. It will be useful for a career also. And it will be of developing you as in your character also.
Correct.
So this is your education. So you are here to talk to them not about what people typically think about as a temple. You are here to talk to them about what is a premium educational institute representing the most ancient, the most profound, the most deep, the most comprehensive culture and education in the world.
Got it, Prabhu.
You have to highlight this point. I mentioned this in our thing.
Absolutely.
You are here to, whether I'm talking in terms of Shastra Mandir, you're talking about a particular Mandir. In one sense, they're very similar, both of them.
Similar.
Right?
Yeah.
They're both very similar. Your temple is going to teach what we are, the Shastras. So I just provide the base of that. What your
Right.
temple is going to teach that. Your temple is an example of, is a place for studying and practicing that and spreading that. That's what you're doing. So it is what you're talking about. It's an appeal to save. It is appeal to save the most ancient, the most comprehensive, and the most profound, in the sense of being most deep education system and culture in the world. That's a mission you are on. On that mission, you are not just erecting another temple. That is the key point here. That's a
Got it, Prabhu.
So these are a few points. There are other.
This is very good, Prabhu. This is very good, Prabhu. These points are good. So
There are many others actually. What we discussed last time, Amandev, past time, and then Lakshmi ji's past
yes,
time.
Prabhu, I asked some questions, Prabhu. I went through our discussion in detail, the recording
Now
you
you will
sent.
have to formulate something how you would say, but you think about it a little bit. And if you wanted to, before going also, are you going to? You're not going to have a presentation. You're just going to speak, right?
No, just speak only, Prabhu. So I went through our discussion, full recording. Okay.
Yeah.
So you started off with Prabhupada pastime that Giriraj Maharaj asked Prabhupada.
Yes.
So what is the, you told that devotee's function is to bring Radha and Krishna in the spiritual world together.
Yeah.
What does it mean for us in the material world?
Yeah.
Practically speaking, Prabhupada said, Radharani in the material world is in the form of Lakshmi.
Yeah.
So the function of the devotee is to bring Mother Lakshmi to the lotus feet of Lord Narayan.
Yeah.
It's the eternal position. So that's how you start that.
Yes.
Then I just rearrange a little bit. Then what is the definition of Mother Lakshmi? What is Lakshmi? So that's given in that Srimad Bhagavatam 8.8.8. Bhagavat Para.
Yes.
Absolutely inclined to be possessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's the
Yeah.
innate definition of Mother Lakshmi.
Yeah.
Since and also this verse, that verse you are quoting and saying that it says that the Ranjayanti Disha Kantya Vidyut Saudamaniyata. That means
Yeah.
she is electrifying like the lightning that illuminates a marble mountain.
Yeah.
Basically to indicate that she is super attractive for everyone.
Yeah.
Right? So, but yes, she's attractive to everyone, but so that's why everyone wants to keep her. But the rightful owner is Krishna himself.
Yeah.
Krishna is the owner of all opulences, right? Bhaktaram Eknatapasam. So
Yeah.
she is happy only when she is with the Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
If we do that, then there will be a peace in this world.
Yes.
So one question, this is something I was meditating that, while listening to the class, our discussion. One may question that, okay, we see many people in this America where they have so much Lakshmi. For example, Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, Bill Gates, all these people, right?
Yeah.
They don't take Lakshmi to Krishna, Narayana. They keep it, but they're very happy only. But to answer them, with proper answers that I think in 8.8.9 or somewhere, that if we do not use, if you don't take Mother Lakshmi to Sita, Lakshmi to Lord Ram, sorry, Lord Narayan, eventually you will be dissatisfied and you'll be frustrated in life because she gives the opposite result. Bhaktaram Eknatavasam Sarva Lokamaheshwaram Surgam Sarva Bhutanam Gnatvamam Shantim Rachati. So Prabhupada writes that if Lakshmi is utilized in the service of Narayana, then there is a prosperity and there is a peace in the society.
Yeah.
If that is not happening, it may look like they're enjoying or they're having fun, whatever, but eventually they will be frustrated either in this life or next, for sure. Unhappy. That's what I want to say. Am I right?
Yeah. I don't know. I was exactly saying, yeah. I mean, that so many points are true. This is also true. They will be. But I was just thinking, if you see later in this pastime, what happens is Lakshmi ji is carrying a garland in her hand, right? And she goes around so many people and she looks at everybody. She looks at even the devatas and she looks at the demons and this.
Right.
Yeah. Hare Krishna?
Hare Krishna, Babu.
Yes. So, if you would like to say that pastime, what is that she was looking for the. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam that she's going around, she's looking around at the various people who will be her rightful, let's say, husband or owner. Okay. But Bhagavatam says that everywhere she finds everybody has something missing, some fault.
Mm.
This is right in the Bhagavatam only.
Right.
So she says or goes around and says, oh, this person doesn't have that, this doesn't have that. So they have misgiving, they have limitations. So many have limitations, including the devatas. And
Yeah.
finally she ends up coming to the Supreme Lord.
Mm.
She said, this person is perfect. He has no limitation.
Correct.
And so that's when she garlands him. And when she garlands him, there's the interesting thing that some set of people become happy and other set of people are not so happy. The people who become happy are the devatas. So that's the
Mm.
definition of a devata or a devotee. They
Mm.
become happy. Although initially they were also attracted to Lakshmi, like everybody is. But when Lakshmi garlands Mother Lord Narayan, they become happy. Makes
Right.
sense? And so this is what we want to become. We are not perfect yet. You're not. You're trying to. You have to always take a humble position. You're asking for Lakshmi, so we are
Mm.
perfect. Give us that. But we are trying to follow this mission of connecting ourselves and everybody with the perfect. Does that make sense? So this is the key point here. Our mission is to erect this institution which will help everybody and everybody to connect and connect,
Prabhu.
connect
Mhm.
Lakshmi with the perfect. Basically, she
Correct,
has to
Prabhu.
be utilized for the perfect.
So that's totally understandable, Prabhu. But how do you explain this, the point I'm making, right? So there are so many people out there in this country, for example. So much Lakshmi, but they're still happy.
Well, who knows? First of all, who knows they are happy? That's the one point that everybody can. How much do you understand they are happy? So many instances of people who actually became Bill Gates. This is another thing. Even our Amazon and all that, had a very difficult family life also, right? One some like just went through separation, or so many others commit suicide. These other things like that. So I think lot of people that you can say to the rich people, lot of people in this world who become rich and famous carry a mask around. They are going around with a mask, correct? I mean, they as if they are. So we are not saying, obviously, we are not saying opulence is bad. Don't work for opulence.
Yeah.
But if you do not utilize it and you keep claiming that basically, and that you are the most deeply satisfied person in this
Yes.
world, that may not be the case. And that we see in many people who will reveal it, that they are lonely within. They don't have any friends they can trust because they have so much money. I don't know who is going to loot what at any time or whatever. And who's going to people are envious, this and other things and all of that in themselves. Like so many, we have to, I don't know if you have to bring up this point or let them ask. That's the other
Okay.
thing. But if you want to bring it up, then you can say that if you feel it's important enough for you to bring it up, then you could. But otherwise, my suggestion maybe you don't have to bring it up.
Sure,
But
sure, Prabhu.
because Sauli, many of these, they are rich people. They know these guys. Others are hollow inside. They just, people are. They are pious Indian family. They will already agree, or you can just mention it in passing. So many rich and famous are just they are hollow within. You know,
Mm.
they are,
Okay.
or to the extent they are trying to utilize in some way in charity, they will get something. See, if you do one is you don't do anything. Second, you are doing something. Okay.
Correct.
In option two, okay, something you will get. But we're talking about the highest. So why not do the best?
Mm.
If you're doing some charity and all of that, then it will benefit you in some way. Correct.
Correct.
It will give you some benefit. That's why we are not saying second is bad. We are just saying third is the highest and the best. And with that, second will follow, will get included. That is
Correct.
the best thing. Give them their father and mother, and then all the opulences along with that will follow. And then with their father and mother, give them the opulences, give them food, give them this thing, give them employment, give them all of that.
Mm.
So many examples you can give for that. So
Got it, Prabhu.
when you do that, then you are holistically, harmoniously doing the development of the society. Otherwise,
Mm,
is the example of the bird is of the soul is hungry within, and you are just decorating the cage.
correct. So,
We
Prabhu,
are not saying it doesn't need a
holistically
cage.
one minute, Prabhu. So, holistically, harmoniously, we are developing the society, you're saying, but here at the individual, right? People start to see from there only.
Meaning, huh?
So, in fact, you're asking me to give money, and this is what
Mhm.
this lecture is all about. Why I
Yes,
should give. That's what we are referring from Srimad Bhagavatam, right?
yes.
So, if the person gives to Krishna, so he grows holistically also, right? He
He
develops.
himself will grow holistically. You yourself
Mm,
will grow holistically. The example of the root and the stomach. When you water the root, Bhagavatam, you can take those Bhagavatam quotes also with you. Some of these quotes you can keep in your phone also or something, and then you can say, the Bhagavatam gives these two examples. When you water the root, that's the only way to nourish the tree. And we ourselves are a part of that tree. We will
mm,
we will be able to connect with the people. We will be able to get the nourishment ourselves. Huh?
mm.
When you water the root, that's the only way. Otherwise, it's just shining from outside. So the rich and famous people are shining from outside because you're watering it. So it looks very shiny,
Mm.
but it doesn't have the nourishment within. That can only come from the root. There is no other way. Same for the body. If the body, you can clean it up, clean it, this other thing. It will look very nice and shiny. Maybe even for a day or two or more like that. But don't feed anything to the stomach and only make it shine from outside and give the food to the finger only or to the leg only and all of that. Is that going to work?
Mm.
It may look shiny, it may look good, but it doesn't. This is the example given by Bhagavatam, so those verses can be quoted also. So
Absolutely.
we are trying to nourish the root, and which will help us. You can give your own example also. You can say, like I said in some way, that the best thing I basically connected is that I found, and that is you yourself. You, Nitya Gaurang Prabhu, Anurag Sharma Prabhu, and all that. You know, the reason I'm in Krishna consciousness, I got friends like you, and that's what I was looking for. Although I didn't
Mm.
understand the philosophy, at least much less than what I do understand now. Even
Correct.
if now it's a little bit, but that time I hardly understood anything. But what I understood is these people are nice and trying to do something nice. These people are not, bullies. These people are not proud people. Their money is their most important thing. Prestige is their most important thing, and they want to pull other people down. These people are trying to pull people, some others up to some extent, right? And so I like that company. That's why that was a solid foundation for me personally. And you could mention also, so that's what happens. When they contribute, they become part of this institution where people come together and automatically, even without knowing God first, because you're already trying to connect with God with a message in some way, everybody is moving up in terms of their character, in terms of their how they're nice people. They become nicer people because the qualities come in them.
Correct.
Gradually, the qualities come in because the best qualities are there in God. So even if we don't understand God, this is what happens in our lives, right? We got such good associate. Our main thing is we are in devotee association. People
Correct, Prabhu.
respect each other at least to much more extent than in the outside world, right? It's like they even though everybody is in a work in progress, you can't expect them to become perfect. But at least they are on the they're taking a bath, they're getting cleaned up, they're trying to move
Right, Prabhu.
forward, and that's glorious. So
Yeah.
this is the society you are giving them. You're giving them this society. You're
Right.
giving them these people. So what a glorious thing you are doing. You're giving
Correct.
them a chance. It's not like they're contributing towards it. You are asking them to become a member of that society and gain all the benefits of this sadhu sangha. The sadhu sangha, the association of the devotees, the such highest level of education and culture, and the chance to develop the skill sets of everybody, utilize every aspect of our, and revive this most for our own selves. No, not
Correct.
just for the others, as you are saying. It benefits our own self when this entire system, which is the most ancient, most comprehensive, most profound system, gets revived.
Right.
You know, is
So,
benefits the world now and then helps us even birth after birth to go back to God.
right, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, 1 minute, I'll go through this sequence, okay? So, I covered this 8.8.8 from our discussion, Bhagavad Para. Hmm?
Yeah.
So, so the rightful owner is Krishna, so that is Bhaktaram Eknatapasam, so we give it to him. Then
Okay.
you're also putting that 8.8.9 verse, said everyone is attracted because of her opulence,
Hmm.
right? The devas, demons, and humans. But the difference is that the devas or devotees realize who she is and worship her by utilizing her opulence in Lord's service. I think that's the worship, that's the verse 8.8.10, where Indra worships her properly.
Hmm.
Make her sit on the throne, and the Yamuna and the sacred river personified come and wash her feet with the water, blah, 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 right?
Hmm.
So that's a difference. So demons want to possess her, own her, but the
Yeah.
devatas, so there's attraction, but they also recognize that this is the Lakshmi. Lakshmi is the meant for Krishna only.
Yeah.
Krishna will be enjoyed. So they worship her by utilizing her opulence in Lord's service.
Yeah.
Right?
And
That's
that's
the
where you can bring the point of the root, because he is the root and there is no other way.
Hmm.
You can connect at this point, the point that it is the root.
I'm just writing it 1 minute.
Krishna is the root. So that you can look up the Bhagavatam verse also, the which Bhagavatam verse says that Krishna is the root which needs to be watered.
Oh, is there a verse like that? Bhagavatam?
Yeah, Bhagavatam has a verse which is Krishna is the root and Krishna is the stomach. Lord is the.
Hmm.
So that is and this exactly this point you can introduce that. So what
No,
are they
how do you
doing?
introduce this point? Krishna is the root. How is that worshipping Lakshmi is
Yeah, because she is giving to worshipping Narayan. Yeah,
correct? Utilizing
she's
her for
saying she and the devotees are happy to see that she is doing that, and they're trying
correct.
to utilize, facilitate her getting utilized in that way.
Hmm.
Why? Because he is the root. 2 points. One is he is the most perfect. You can relate to that pastime that he is the most perfect. Nobody else is perfect. That's why
Correct.
she is choosing. And he is the root who doesn't just keep it to himself. He will nourish everybody if you give it to him.
Krishna is the root. Okay.
So 2 points are there. One, he is perfect. That's why
Correct.
Lakshmi chooses him. Second, he is so perfect, he doesn't keep it for himself. He gives it. So that is the route money should take. Go to her, to him, and that's where it gets distributed. Like the government, you give the government the taxes, but it's a good government, a good king, the tax will get utilized. You can't put everywhere, this one thing here. Government you are given, he is distributing to everybody. And the same way, in fact, a corporation works like that, by the way, right? All the profit of the corporation goes to the corporation.
Chairman. Yeah. Yeah.
It goes to that company. Even if it's
Correct.
either it's one owner or it's it goes to the company, right? And the
Correct.
company will then distribute it to all the employees or the shareholders and everybody, right?
Hmm.
But if the employee says, I'm not going to give the profit to the company, I'm going to put it in my pocket,
Hmm.
what happens? That's cheating. That's spoiling the company, that's spoiling everybody else also, that's spoiling him also.
Correct.
So this is the way modern world also operates. It's not just the way the actual spiritual world operates. That's the point. It's an ancient idea. Now it's different. No. Whether you take the government, whether you take a corporate, those are the two main areas, let's say, in the world. Yeah.
Correct, Prabhu.
It's a government or it's a private. Private also operates in the same way.
Yeah.
They all
Prabhu,
water the root.
Correct.
And
So I would
wherever that
give
is not done, it spoils everything. It becomes corruption. It's a, what is it called? It becomes what is it called? A metal when it is
that is
um, mixed with
alchemy,
something else. Huh?
the alchemy or process, right?
No, not
To be-
alchemy. No, I'm saying about the impurity is there, na, in a metal or something. There's a word for that starting with A. I forgot. But
amalgamation. Hmm.
yeah, but I thought that was amalgamation. Yeah, I can't remember now.
I
But
don't know.
anyway, that's
Prabhu,
that's what the impurity is becoming impure with that. You have to purify it. Purify means it goes to the center. When it goes to the center will distribute it everywhere.
correct. Do you know that verse, Prabhu? Which verse is
Ah,
that, Krishna?
root I'm telling you right through Bhagavatam, root,
Stomach.
stomach. So this is so you have to we say that this is what needs to be. The tradition of India is that the temples were actually 4.13, 31.14.
4.31.14. 4.31.14. Pouring water on the root of a tree energizes the root. Oh, the Narada is speaking this verse. Yatatarormula Tripyanti Tatskanda Bhuja Pashakaha. Okay. So, as pouring of water on the root of a tree energizes the trunk, branches, twigs, and everything else, and as supplying food to the stomach enlivens the senses, limbs of the body. Simply worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead through devotion service automatically satisfies the demigods who are parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, demigods means who are the administrators of the universe. That means he satisfies the whole universe.
Correct.
The
He's a
same thing applies to how the modern world also operates. And so if we do that, it will lead to all kinds of development, holistic development in the character and the career, everything. Harmony between body, mind, and soul, and environment, and everything. That's another way of saying it. Everything, all kinds of, they all are in harmony, they all become, and then opulence spreads. If this is the case, this is such a high mission. See how such a high mission this is.
yes, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, in the root, can you just connect that? It's okay. So, Krishna is the root. So, if Lakshmi is used in Krishna's service, how do you connect this, Prabhu? I didn't understand. I missed it.
Oh yeah, so you got the point that they were happy. So you're starting with 8.8, and then you were saying that okay, so Lakshmi ji is defined as Bhagavad Para. She comes out of that thing, and everybody seems attracted to her, but but finally she goes around,
And finds a perfect person, which is the Supreme
and
Lord.
because so she wants to connect with a perfect person. Represents opulence in the world. She's shiny. She's like most opulent, most attractive. But she goes around and she says, but this person has fallen. She finds the perfect person, and then she garlands him. Now Krishna, the part of his perfection, the fact that he's perfect God is or there you can connect to the fact that when now, or you can, after that you can mention, as soon as that happens, there's a difference of the reaction between the devatas and the demons. And that's where you are putting your potential supporters in the category of devatas, right? Because you're saying they become happy, although they are also attracted to her. So we are not ideal You know, those things. Oh, I didn't feel any attraction. Everybody feels attraction to Lakshmi.
Mm-hmm.
But when she garlands Narayan, we become happy.
Mm.
And we want to facilitate that.
And that is because of the Narayana is the root. That's what
So there you say two qualities. One, he is perfect. So you say the two aspects you can say as a primary. One, he is perfect. So he is the rightful owner and he's perfect. But his perfectness also gets reflected in the fact that he perfectly doesn't just utilize it for himself. He distributes it perfectly to everybody. That is the key point, na? If you give it to an imperfect person, he will misuse it for himself, selfish purpose. But you give to the perfect person, if you give opulence is given to the mother, she will perfectly distribute to all the children.
Correct.
Or if the father is wealthy, he will perfectly take care of the kids.
All right,
But
Prabhu.
if you give to one brother and he will become envious of the other brother, this and other thing like that, it's a problem.
Correct, Prabhu. Yeah.
That's why him being the root is the perfect root.
Right.
Is there that perfect root, and then yeah. So this is Bhagavatam says. So if we utilize it that way, and through that route, everybody becomes happy, and that is this institution that it is trying to become that center where the base of the, if you want to state that, the most ancient, comprehensive, profound knowledge system and culture in the world to benefit everybody. And then everything else will follow. Economic development, this, other, all of these things will follow.
Mm.
The greatest need of the soul is taken care of, then bodily, emotional, everything needs are taken care of. So you have to relate various points, like you found the best friends, you found the best this thing. Yours are own personal example. So
Right,
those are
right.
other points also. People want to connect you as a person. See, they are not so much giving to the temple route, they are giving it to you. So they have to connect with you. They are observing you. What's your sincerity? What's your dedication? What's your mission? What's your purpose? You always end up giving to that person, right? Eventually. You are the
Correct.
one. They say, okay, he's speaking sense and he means it. He wants to drive. He's sincere about it, which you are. Now you have to present it appropriately. That you
Got it.
represent the mission. If they take that thing of trying to present to you, like
So if Lakshmi is used in Krishna's service, then everyone becomes happy automatically.
yes, yes, yeah. क्या करूं मेरे को टाइम ही नहीं मिल रहा मैं इधर
Mm-hmm.
yeah
Then we
yeah
need.
so when we get you, and that's where the examples are there. You say
Correct.
Ayodhya example, economic development, all of these things follow. Correct.
Correct, Prabhu.
They follow. This is not just words. It's just that automatically it will happen. Though Bhagavatam will not give that example.
Exactly.
Bhagavatam will not give that example, right? And you will see
Exactly.
that practically. It practically happens that way. You can say in my own life it has happened that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
How you, because character gets developed, career gets developed along with that. And people get all kinds of skills that get utilized. You know, and India was a great example of that earlier. So all of these things are there in place. So you have to believe it and follow like that.
All right, Prabhu. So Prabhu, then I will moving on. Okay. So we need to be like Hanumanji. That's an example you are giving in there.
Yeah.
Whose only function is to bring Mother Sita to Lord Ram. The
Yeah.
opposite of Hanumanji is Ravana, taking Mother
Yeah.
Sita away from Lord Ram.
Ah.
So we need to do anything and everything to bring Mother Sita to Lord Ram. So that's our everybody's responsibility.
Yeah.
Right? But in that process also we should be very careful not to be like Ravana from inside and showing as Hanumanji outside.
Hmm.
even in subtle
Yeah.
way, right? Meaning in bringing Mother Sita to Lord Ram, we should not take
Yeah.
anything for ourselves. Sometimes we don't take money, but we take the reputation
Yes.
for ourselves.
Yes. So they have to feel it in your eyes that way. That this person, he means it, you know, but he's not doing it for himself in any way. So
Mm.
yeah, you can. They are looking at you are on this mission, and this is what I'm saying to you. This is what I say. Basically, just right. If I am one on right in front of Lord, also with all sincerity, you want to say that, you know.
Right.
Doesn't not that I'm speaking in public in a certain way or like that, because God is within. He's looking at your sincerity. What's what. So
Got it, Prabhu. So the more we do this is the absolute function of a devotee. So any opulence anywhere in the world, know that it belongs to the Lord only. So
yeah.
then it's called Yukta Vairagya.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
Yes.
then sometimes I think this Mukesh Prabhu asked that, Mukul or Mukesh? I think Mukul.
That day.
That day, yeah. Sometimes Krishna takes away, I think I asked and he built on it. Sometimes Krishna takes away everything from the devotee.
Ah.
So they can completely be surrendered to the Lord only and his Lord
Hmm.
service.
Hmm.
Then for you said that, yeah, well, he does that, but he doesn't do that for everyone because Krishna gives distress to his devotees according to their capacity to handle the distress.
Hmm. If
Because
it is
he's
really required to bring the devotee closer to him, sometimes there is there that, you know, he doesn't have to, because his whole idea is he wants to bring the devotee closer to him. So
Mm,
sometimes he may have to give him money and prestige for that purpose, or sometimes you have to take it away. If he knows that if he is not going to misuse that money or prestige, Krishna will give. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam in the Vamandev Bali Maharaj pastime
mm,
that in the end he gives, right? He gives so much. To Prahlad Maharaj also he is giving. In the end, you know, yeah, go and stay with your family nicely, Bali Maharaj and all of that. Doesn't He's not going to take. He's not here to take. He's only here to give. But if our mentality is not absolutely right, sometimes he will take something away just to teach us.
mm.
Our mentality of being closer to him, of developing a deep relationship with him, and keeping him in the center is not absolutely right, then sometimes he will, to correct us, he will take away something. See, here to real main point, he is a perfect leader.
Correct.
You have to remember,
And
he's a perfect leader. A perfect leader knows exactly well, and with a purpose. He's a perfect leader with a purpose. His purpose is to bring us back to him, the whole world back to him. That's it. And that means develop that relationship. Now the whole thing is going on for that purpose. And a temple is an institute which will help us to bring people to that, you know, come to that place to take concrete steps towards that mission. Learn, associate, you know, sing and dance,
right.
practice, eat, this, whatever. You know, you have to tell people it's a place of fun, but fun which will also at the same time lead us to the highest goal. It's a place of culture, fun, everything like that.
Right.
That is the point, right? It's not just talking serious stuff and all of that. Krishna is the most humorous person also. He's a gopis and all talk about that. Your joking words are like so amazing. We can't forget it at all. You know, it's like capturing our hearts like anything. With your joking words and
Mm.
like that. So many things basically are are
Lots of
there like that. So that is a temple. That's that is a great mission
correct.
of the
And
temple.
then you're saying it's not always that one should give money. There are other opulences one may possess that can be given to Krishna. also.
Pranirarthe dhiya vacha.
Pranirartha Dhiya Vacha.
So that's also the Bhagavatam verse. If you
Yes, yes.
Pranirarthe dhiya vacha. One is words, one is so yeah. That's why we encourage people to we are encouraging people to contribute. And by the way, you should obviously that you may be already doing. You may have specific some figures in mind and how much you think they can give and all that. So you have to bring that out also appropriately at appropriate time. You know, if you have any scheme, you have a pamphlet, you will give them or whatever like that. So that you may have already, right? But you should know now how much they are likely to give you.
Yes, Prabhu.
You have that in mind, obviously. You do.
Correct.
So that you have to be able to also appropriately bring out. I don't know, in some way. That depends that's a very particular to that person, this or whatever. But
Prabhu,
because when
one
you
question. This
when you
verse
reach that right level of emotion in them, that's the time you can ask them. The people make that emotional decision at the end.
So this verse recorded the Pranirartha Dhiya Vacha. Is it a natural progression? Meaning you start with the words, then you use your skills.
Yeah, it's a minimal. But some people can directly prana will include artha dhiya vacha. Artha will include dhiya and vacha. Dhiya will include vacha. Like that. So you may do just vacha. That means you don't do anything, but you're at least speaking good words. Arthe dhiya. Dhiya means you're utilizing some skills. You're utilizing some skills, you're giving some time. Like that. Artha is more tough because you're giving your hard-earned money, actually. Actually, artha is tougher to give in that sense.
I have our attachment. Prabhu.
Yeah, because you put your hard-earned money, so you're utilizing their hard-earned money.
Is it okay to say that the Vacha and Dhiya has to be practiced, which is nothing but doing service and this and that?
Sorry,
And
say
get
that again?
Vacha and Dhiya we perform in the beginning stages because we need some level of purification to even give money. Right? So that's why we engage people in service of the Lord. Come to temple, do this service. So you use your time, intelligence, your skills in the service of the Lord. So then you go to the higher charitable things, giving your possessions to Krishna.
But what is these guys' position? They are not so much into. You probably will just be asking money from them, right? They are not really so much into. They may or may not participate in the temple so much, right? They are not practicing devotees. Correct. Huh? Hello?
Can you repeat, Prabhu? Sorry, I did not hear.
I said these guys are not practicing devotees, right?
No, not fully yet.
Yeah. So you tell them that you are telling them that obviously we requesting like that, because the contribution and all that. But actually we are looking for your heartfelt heartfelt. So prana in one sense you can also relate to heart, and you can feel from the heart what we are. So in that sense, prana also, and we want to make them part of your family, correct? So that way, I don't know how you want to exactly utilize. इसको थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा. You can we want to encourage, because giving prana is like really loving, right? So it's like I give you. You are like my life, you will say to God. So you give life to God. So that's where we want to be. And part of that is all of this giving our opulences, our time, our skills, and our words. That's part of that. At least we do something now. So what is an effective way to tell them that When you say that we are utilizing Lakshmi and all that, it's not just a question of that, it's a question of any opulence in that sense.
Correct.
Any opulence means time is also, or any possession in that sense. So that
Correct.
includes time and skills and words, and finally our whole lives, right? So
Correct.
you are encouraging people for that. Yeah, you're encouraging people for that, basically.
Correct. So
You, so
Prabhu,
you,
go ahead, Prabhu.
yeah, so you are encouraging them for that. So in your conversation, sometime you can say, yes, people can. The whole idea is he is the owner of everything. He owns our prana, our artha, our dhiya, and our vacha. He owns it, right? He is the one who has given us everything. We belong to him. When we say, he says, Mama eva amsho, we are his. That means all of that is what we think ours is his. He owns. Abhi usko. So we, and the more we utilize it, because he is the root, we ourselves get nourished also. The more we utilize, we get nourished. So it's for our benefit. Also, this interesting story, one time the finger and the hand and the legs and all of the different senses and parts of the body, they went on a strike. They said, why should we feed this? Only the stomach, he just lies there, sits in the center somewhere, that's it. And everything is just given to him. Why should we do that? I want all the food. I want all the nourishment, all this tasty stuff and all. I want all of that. So they went on a strike. They gave nothing to the stomach. Okay. And gradually, they
Right.
realized that after day 2 and all of that, they were all getting pale inside. Although outside of it, they had. If you see from outside, they had the food, they had all of these things. But they were totally hollow, feeling hollow inside. To the extent they think, oh my God, we can't survive anymore. Then they had a meeting again. What's happening here? All that. My God, it seems like there is no other way. That is the way. So they felt, okay, we have to give to the stomach. They finally decided to give to the stomach. They became so nourished, so happy. Again, they realized stomach is giving back to them only. In fact, in the end, stomach there is nothing left. It just gives only to everybody. In that sense, in a way, it basically gives more than we can take. Gives out everything. So we will become completely happy. Anandam ambudhi vardhanam, pratipadam purnamrita swadanam. So this is also interesting because some stories are also good. There's a
So
light
Prabhu,
story.
Anandam Buddhivardhanam, where are you quoting? Because you,
Shikshashtakam.
no, I know that, but in which point you are quoting that? You get
We will
happy.
become happy
Oh,
if
that's good.
the fingers became happy and nourished, increasingly happy, ecstatic they became if they gave it to the stomach.
Correct.
So Sri Krishna Sankirtanam Param Vijayate. Why not Sri Sarva Tulasingam Sankirtanam, or not the spiritual name, let's say, but Anurag Sankirtanam. Why
Something.
Krishna Sankirtanam? Because it's the center. Everybody Sankirtanam come together to serve Krishna.
Correct.
Then they become happy. Anandam Ambudhi Vardhanam, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Sapanam, Vidyavadhu Jivanam, right? Mahadavagni Nirvapanam. All of these things will happen if Krishna Sankirtanam. So this center, Nityo Nityanam, Chetanas Chetananam, Eko Bahunam, Yo Vidadati Kamam. This center is nourished. It will be, it will provide to everybody. Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam,
Correct.
Gyatvam Shantim Rachati. So he is a Bhokta. We give to him because he is the Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the center. And why giving to him is the best thing? Because he's Suhridam Sarvabhutanam. He's the best well-wishing friend. The root is the best well-wishing friend. The stomach is the best well-wishing friend. If a
Yes.
good government can be the best well-wishing friend, you give it to government, everything will come back nicely.
Correct.
A good corporate, a good company will share the profits in the best way, and everybody gets, the nourishment
Right.
like
Prabhu,
that, like
I
that.
got it. Shastra say one should give 50%. What is, do you know the reference? 10% and 50%?
Yeah, this I don't know from a Shastra. There is a Padma Purana. Somebody is saying is somewhere in the Puranas it's mentioned 10% minimum. It is mentioned.
Rupa Goswami says 50%, right?
Yeah, Rupa Goswami says 50%. Somewhere in Shastra 10% is also mentioned.
Mm.
Okay. So in this case,
Mm.
see, it depends on them, whatever way you want to. But as I
10
said,
to
one is Radha Giridhari Prabhu's formula. He said define a minimum, above that 50% give.
Mm.
Okay. And another is at least give 10%.
Right.
Of your Christians give, Muslims give, they call it zakat. I think Muslims they call it zakat. Christians give 10% to
Mm.
their church. But Hindus hardly give anything.
Yeah, Muslims, how much they give, Prabhu?
10%.
Mm.
They call it zakat. There's a word like that. I think zakat.
Zakat, huh? Mm.
Yeah. So this is
But
also the pious Hindus, they have to be told they at least give 10%.
Prabhu, can you find the reference, Prabhu, for me?
Yeah, this one is I
Bit
would also
tough.
like that. Would also like that. There is I had asked actually, Gaurang Kapoor is coming up with a book on that. There's a verse, this is, because if these guys are so rich, they give 10%,
That will be good.
right?
Yeah,
If
charity.
obviously their 10% may not just only come to you.
Charity Puranas or
I mean, this is
as per Vedas.
yeah, this is yeah, थोड़ा research करना पड़ेगा.
So Dana is one of
According
the
to Shanvi Purana, one should give 10%. Bhagavad Purana, yeah, either somebody is saying Skanda Purana says 10%.
Hmm. So Prabhu, Dana is it a bhakti quality, transcendental quality, or is it mode of goodness? Because
Well, there is a standard question. All the qualities can be mode of goodness quality, but you do it for Krishna, it is a transcendental.
becomes transcendental.
Yes,
Hmm.
that's it. This is a That's it. So you do dana for charitable other purposes. That's like the number 2 option, which we talked about. Otherwise, you do it for Krishna. That's the
Can be-
highest social welfare activity to the soul. That's it.
So if you give it to temple, then it is highest because
Yes.
You are spreading, you are giving money to spread Krishna consciousness.
No, they don't understand the word spreading money to, don't
Then
use that term.
how do you present that, Prabhu? Giving it,
Because what we talked about, when you give to temple, when you give to the temple,
bringing
then
Lakshmi.
you are connecting the soul. You're serving the soul, which is the highest in the hierarchy. You're serving the soul. That's the example, na Prabhupada example.
Correct, correct.
Others you are helping, but the child is connected to the father, the parent. Then everything else gets taken care of. It's the highest thing you can do for the
So
child.
here the child is us, the donor is the
Yes.
child. Got
Hmm?
it.
Yeah.
The donor
But
is the child.
so we are helping others. We are helping our own selves.
Correct,
We
correct, correct.
ourselves are disconnected.
Hmm.
So in this is a paradox. In that sense, it's like I am donating, but I'm myself poor in the sense of my relationship with God. So, but if I contribute this wealth given by God, I myself will gain the real wealth of relationship with God. So I'm
Hmm.
connecting to help others and to help myself.
Got it, got it. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So that's the main point you are making.
Correct.
The main point is it's highest. It's a mission to bring people to the highest because it's connecting people to the supreme loving person. The supreme father and father. What is the definition of God? Father, final father who doesn't have a father. That's
Correct.
God. You connect him, people to that. That is the greatest benefit I can do for anybody. There's nothing higher than that.
Correct, Prabhu.
What can
Yes.
be higher than that? What can
Correct.
be higher than that? That's why the hierarchy of the highest benefit for the soul. Soul is the highest compared to matter, body, mind, matter, um, in senses, mind, intelligence, and then the soul. So the soul is the highest, and the highest need of the soul is to connect with God. So this is the highest welfare activity which can be done. That's why the examples of the whether it's a lottery or then or like that,
Got it,
that is
Prabhu.
why
So,
Lakshmiji has to go to him. He's a supremely perfect person, and he has the um, and he is the root, and he will give to everybody. So you
correct.
are contributing to the development for the entire society in the most holistic, harmonious way, like that, and all other developments will follow from that.
Correct, Prabhu.
So when you quote all of these verses and you switch all of this together, people will see, hey,
So,
what else is there basically to do,
correct.
you know.
So, Prabhu, this is okay,
Why did
Prabhu, but
India's
somewhere,
culture survive? Because the temples were created. Imagine India had no temples. India has 2 million temples now. Despite so many other things, at least the temples are there. So some activity, etc., is happening, although it was removed from education. So you create a temple, you create a hub, not for now, for generations to come.
okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Yeah.
I understand. Okay. So now, if you see Lord Chaitanya, the highest charity is giving Krishna to somebody,
Yeah.
meaning the knowledge of the Lord, right? So, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate.
Yeah.
He's giving charity of Krishna Prema to everyone.
Yes.
So in one sense, the highest charity is the spiritual knowledge, right?
Yes. And your
Uh,
center is a place of giving spiritual knowledge.
spiritual knowledge, exactly. So,
You are talking about the highest premier educational institute. That's the
correct,
temple.
correct. So if I'm just playing a devil, the reason I'm asking this question is, okay, if somebody comes and says, okay, well, you're asking for to build a temple money, but I'm doing Shastradhan already. There is
Yes.
one guy, I know that guy will definitely ask this question to me. Okay,
Yes.
so he sponsors like a 10 boxes of Bhagavad Gita every year.
Yes. So we need both. We need the book and we need the brick. You need both because it's like I'm already having some books. I don't need a school. You don't need a school if you have a book. You need a school also, na?
Correct.
You need the education institute and you need the book. Education institute without book is nothing, but the book without the education institute can be studied by somebody, but it cannot be studied in a systematic way by a large set of people. You require an education institute, a formal setup, formal
Mm.
education. So book and brick are both needed.
Okay, so that's a good point.
Both are needed. Both are needed. That's what it will. That's what will make things survive. Not like the.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Prabhu, that is really good, Prabhu. This is really good. And I'm just looking at our notes. One thing you said we'll discuss in the next session, which we did not do. Jatayu. How did you bring Jatayu, Prabhu? I got
Oh yeah,
distracted.
Jatayu. Why did I bring? I'm trying to see also. I don't know why. So was I saying about that in the lecture?
Yeah, you were saying that you're quoting Radhanath Maharaj a short clip, but he didn't play actually, unfortunately, on that day.
Yeah, I can't. I was also trying to see that. I don't know why I mentioned Jatayu, but I know in terms of I'm trying to see how I relate it to.
You know what you said? Some people will be willing to die for Krishna.
Ah,
Some will die for Krishna, really die. That is Jatayu.
yeah.
In bringing Sita to Lord Ram, you said.
Yes. Yes. So yeah. So but I don't know whether you have to mention. Um,
Maybe that's
yeah. So what I have mentioned here in the notes is following the footsteps of devotees like Jatayu, irrespective of whatever strength we have. Some people say, "Arey, don't have any strength, Baba. I have very limited money."
mm,
But Jatayu was not thinking so much that I have no strength. How can I fight with Ravan? He was saying, whatever strength I have, I'll fight to the best
mm,
extent I can. So, irrespective of whatever strength we have to face, we must face the formidable opposition of material propaganda. Let me be willing to fight till I die for bringing Mother Sita to Lord Ram.
mm,
So, let's do the best we can, genuinely. That's what Jatayu did, right?
correct.
He was not thinking, this guy is so powerful, I can't match him. So, let him go. No,
Mm,
I'm going to do the very best I can. In case of Jatayu, to the extent of giving up his life, praner arthe diya vacha. He gave up his life, prana.
mm,
So that is the highest example.
mm,
But at least we can do something, arther, to the extent that we can. So that way, it's a good example, right?
Industry example. That's I
Maharaj
absolutely.
did not say it in fundraising context. I'm relating it now. In his lecture, he was saying that, just praising him that he died
Mm,
actually died. Some people like fought willing to die, right? Hanumanji,
right.
Lakshmanji, everybody like that, right? They
Arjuna.
fought willing to die. They were not afraid of death.
Correct.
They were put their lives on the line. But Jatayu actually died.
Correct. So then you are quoting the difference between devatas and demons.
Although that we already talked, na?
Correct. So we'll somewhere in that thing. We may not be fully devatas. We may not be fully demons, but somewhere there. But at least there is a scale,
Yeah. We have to
right?
move towards that. We have to become happy in facilitating Mother Lakshmi being used by Lord Ram.
Correct, Prabhu.
That is moving
Okay.
towards being Devta.
Yeah. And Prabhu, you were quoting the first canto, Prabhu. You said you are going to give me a reference. I asked you in that meeting itself.
Yeah, I could not find that. That is something to find it also is a little bit like a. I know I also heard that lecture, then I was thinking, yeah. Yeah, that's
Okay.
where I don't know how much will be useful for your session tomorrow. Prabhupada basically says that the same thing is that all the wealth in the world should be utilized. If people utilize it and it happens in the direction of a pure devotee, then it is the greatest benefit to the world. Main thing is people give money. Money is extremely powerful. So much can be done with that. That's the point Prabhupada is making there. So if people, he says 50%, up to 50% or something, if people give, then the impact that we can have in the world, as long as there is a pure devotee at the helm of it, somebody who
Mhm.
doesn't want to, at least pure in the sense that he's not going to utilize it for his own this thing. He wants to use it for the right purpose. Then whatever Lakshmi can come will be a wonderful. Make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. So you could not find the reference, right? Okay.
Yeah, that is a pending this thing.
You
Because I
you
could not think of what to search for it also.
okay.
Where he talks about broadcasting the glories. I think was first came to me here as I thought, but that I've read probably
Nice,
years back.
Raj. I could not find it.
Yeah. May not be so important for tomorrow.
Yeah, that's okay. No, that's only for my education, Prabhu, because that's a beautiful point.
Yeah, it's amazing the way Prabhupada puts it in that. He said, just if people give 50% or whatever, something like that, a percentage, then this is it. Oh, money is very powerful. And that's a money is very powerful. Once it's the opulence of the Lord. So once it comes, so much can be done to serve the Lord. Yeah, but yeah, that is really, I don't know what to search for, basically. I was thinking of many cases, you can think of some good word to search, but here I could not.
Correct. And why I got very excited is you said you read it before long ago,
Yeah.
right?
So we have to pray to the
Really
Lord.
exist.
So we can. No. Veda-based में कुछ जाके बराबर you have to do some Veda-based.
Some such, yeah.
My suggestion is, I think what you
I
have is
don't need it for
already,
tomorrow. Yes.
you have quite a bit for now. You just kind of organize it, see which ones you little bit more connect with,
Correct,
but
Prabhu.
practice it. If you can do do a dry kind of make me maybe a sketch or whatever.
Some
Just
sketch,
think about it. Which
some
point
flow,
what
I'll
happened.
write it down.
Yeah, write it, etc. If you want to share with me, you can, and
Sure, Prabhu.
then I can share any further points on it. But we have developed on this already.
I think so, Prabhu. Prabhu, and also the sixth canto, right? You were quoting some verse, but we didn't cover that. I think Vamana Dev.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
had
yeah. So Vaman Dev ka to, I had said, Vaman Dev says multiple things that not Vaman Dev, Bali Maharaj says multiple things. How
correct.
utilization that I have put in the document. How
Let me see.
utilization of this thing is because Lord's mercy He has taken everything away, everything belonged to me. There are a few verses, very
Yeah, 8.20.21, right?
mm,
But we didn't discuss that.
you wanted to discuss it now?
Yeah, I mean, some points would be good, Prabhu. That's a beautiful story.
Okay.
8.20.21. Let me open that 1 minute.
You are thinking basically if you go through some of these things, then and you can utilize in some way some things, yeah.
Correct.
What I'm talking.
20.21. 20.21. I'm just opening that verse that you. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had assumed the form of Vamana, then began increasing in size, acting in terms of mental energy, until everything in the universe was within his body, including the earth, the planetary system, the sky, the directions, the various worlds in the universe, the seas, the oceans, the birds, beasts,
So I will
humans.
tell you very quickly. What happened is when Vaman Dev expanded his body, okay, at that time he showed that the entire universe was part of his body. He didn't just extend his legs. The sky and everything got covered in his body.
Hmm.
So that's the point where we from there we can understand that everything in the universe already is part of Lord's body.
Hmm.
Everything in the universe is already part of his body.
Correct.
So that means it has to be, it belongs to him. It is already part of him.
Oh, I see. That is a
We
Bhoktara
are
mechanism.
also there as part of him, and everything also is part of his body. So it's already part of his. So the right place for that is to be utilized for him.
Hmm.
Everything is part of him. Everything is from him. Everything is part of him. And that's why it has to be utilized for him.
Oh, I see.
Like
So I think that's a
democracy,
Bhoktara mechanism.
democracy, it's said, na, by the people, of the people, for the people, right? Democracy, they say.
Correct.
Similarly, all the opulence is by Krishna. He is the root. He is of Krishna. It's part of his. He's the proprietor. It's part of him. But it
Right.
also has to be for him. That freedom he has given to us. It is
Hmm.
by me, it is of me. That is true.
Hmm.
But I have given you some little tiny fraction of that in your care. Although it belongs to me.
Hmm.
Now, if you utilize it for Krishna, that is the best use of it.
Got it, Prabhuji.
And
Okay.
that way you will also get maintained.
Hmm.
So Krishna is not going to keep you.
I'm
More you concentrate,
I'm taking a note. 1 minute.
more he will be giving you only.
So technically, we are not giving anything.
Yes,
Everything belongs to him.
yes. There's another example in that, which is given is that when you decorate the face, it decorates the reflection automatically.
No, correct, Prabhu.
So actually, you are decorating the face, which is Krishna.
Correct.
And we are like a reflection. We will automatically get decorated. The
Hmm.
route has to be through Krishna.
Hmm.
And 8.16.51.52 is also, I think that is a Devahuti's thing. One should worship, gorgeously worship the Supreme Lord, giving up miserly mentality.
Prabhu, 1 minute, Prabhu. 8.15.
8.16.51.52.
51, 52. Oh, okay. Giving up the miserly habit of not spending money. One should arrange for the gorgeous worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu. Wow. With great attention, one must prepare oblation of grains boiled in ghee and milk. Chant the Purusha Shakta mantra. The offerings of food should be. So this is a very clear message here.
Yeah.
One should arrange for the gorgeous worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu.
This is another pastime that Devu is told to Aditi, I think.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Chapter. It's a different chapter, right? It's a different. Then you come to 8.20.6. Bali Maharaj replied to Shukracharya. All this I've mentioned in the. Everything
Right.
is taken away at that except for one's reputation.
Correct.
So we should work towards a good reputation, and that comes by contributing to the Lord. The Dichi, CB, they gave their lives for the benefit of the people.
So, yes, Prabhu, I want to ask you about it. Dadichi gave, what is the example of Dadichi, Prabhu? He gave it for
Dichi gave up
reputation.
his bones, the Indra and all came up that
Indra asked for it. Yes.
the bone. So he said, okay, take it.
That's welfare for at the welfare of others. He gave his own life.
So that reputation is what we remember, right?
Correct.
Reputation.
Hmm.
So if people contribute, it's their reputation that they take back, not that, oh, wealth to बाद में चला ही जाएगा. What is the big deal in that?
Hmm. But what did he give it for?
Yeah.
Gave up their lives for the benefit of people. Kshatriyas, many of them lie down.
Yeah, this one is a nice one also. You can see this. That's 8.20 के बाद में है वो. He's
Okay.
saying that Kshatriyas, many gave up their life on the battlefield, but rare is the opportunity to give all his wealth in charity to a Brahmana who creates holy places. Tirtha ayate. That's exactly what you're doing. You're creating a holy place.
Hmm. So that is which one? Let me see. That is verse number. Prabhuji, one more time. Tell me that. 8 point.
See, I have not quoted the exact 8.20 point something. I'm just quoting from my document only,
Something
which I
like
shared.
that. Okay. Okay, now I will find it actually. Yeah.
Yeah, we can put that verse also in the document. 8.20 point something.
20 point something. Okay. I'll find it, Prabhu. There's so many verses you are giving me, but I need to really go through this
Yeah,
tomorrow
yeah. So
morning.
what I'm saying is at the end of the day, for tomorrow, think of
What
at
may
least a simple flow that you will follow that you feel connected with,
correct. Exactly.
because you don't have a presentation as a backup also. You're just talking just like that, right?
Yes, I need to go with the
So,
flow. Yes.
yeah, so go with the flow, thing which you connect with nicely, but make it simple, easy to understand, and make it relatable to them as best as possible. Personal also in a way like that, you know. But you can know more things because depending upon what they say, etc., then you can quote more. But I'm thinking these verses and all of that is a very powerful thing. Because they're pious family, and you will talk about that you are talking it based on Shastra, not just like that.
Right. Exactly, Prabhu.
That's a very important point. So be clear. I'm here on a mission, the highest ever mission for mankind.
Hmm.
You have to be able to say that, not based on any of your strength, based on the strength of the Shastras and what you have learned from Gurus,
Hmm.
the Parampara. So we are very humble, insignificant people. We have a lot of limitations ourselves. We are not perfect,
Right.
but we have a vow to follow and serve the perfect.
Correct. Yes, Prabhu. This word that you used, the term is fantastic. Tirthaya ayate.
Yes, say that exact verse.
Tirthaya ayate. Yeah, I'll find it.
Yes, look at that exact verse. We have to quote that here. This is
I'm just
exactly for temple construction. In fact, now
correct.
I'm feeling inspired. I will share some of these things with Brajvilas Prabhu also. Maybe he knows something, but he may not know everything. He may know many more things than what we have here. But it's possible that some of these he may not be using. He can also utilize it.
Absolutely.
In fact, I can create this document and share with so many other people who are creating temples.
Prabhu, 829, Prabhu. That one.
Yeah.
O best of Brahmanas, many men have laid down their lives
So
in the
we
battle.
can create this document and share with so many other people creating temples, is it not? What do you say?
Absolutely. Absolutely, Prabhu. I agree. Being unafraid of fighting, but rarely one has gotten the chance to give his accumulated wealth faithfully to a saintly person who creates holy places. Wow, what a verse, huh?
This is a very powerful word for temples.
Yes, Prabhuji. I think this is spoken by Vamanadev. Yeah.
No, spoken by Bali Maharaj.
Sorry. Bali speaks to Sukracharya, right? Oh, best
Yes,
of the Amen. Because he is giving the argument.
yes.
Why you should. Let me see what is it. Bali Maharaj surrenders the universe. Super Prabhu.
This is a very powerful verse. Very powerful verse. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
This is a very powerful verse, I think. Yeah.
Correct. 8.20.9.
So you establish this strength, Prabhu. You are already above all the other temples by doing this.
Why we should give for instruction. Okay, that is this verse. Okay. I think I have a very good references and the story to tell tomorrow. But all I need to do is after chanting, I need to sit and just go through one more, write it down and see what is more I'm comfortable with
Hmm.
and present that tomorrow. This
Yeah.
Prabhupada's story and all, it'll resonate very well with them.
Which
The
one?
destiny. The boy who is stranded in the
Yeah,
street.
yeah. I think so.
Yes, Prabhuji, I'll do that.
That's a powerful one.
So where did you collect these things, Prabhu? Through various lectures and
Yeah, there's nothing. I couldn't, frankly, there may be, right? I should check with people. There should be lectures which should have this complete compilation of inspiring people to contribute. And there may be, I've not found. Yeah, I have not found as a specific one seminar. So, I don't know how many of those are such are there, but I can definitely compile from some of these and create one myself and maybe share with some others and then get some from others also.
who are in a need for things like this. I think yes, Prabhuji, I have more to speak. This verses I need to go through one more time and make sure that I get it. Okay. Prabhuji,
Yeah,
this is amazing, Prabhu, amazing help, and I cannot thank you enough. It's 12:13 a.m. my time, midnight,
I know.
and
But
I
I know
cannot
you are.
stop also because it is really good, and the way you are putting it also super good actually.
We can improve this a lot, Prabhu. Abhi, right now we have done this, so we
You
should improve this a
this
lot.
can be a
I can just
one-time
make it as a seminar kind of
learning.
thing, and now I'm more of an inspiration to help some others also. You know, everybody, we can put it in some systematic way and share with others also.
Absolutely.
So, be a great, I think, a great saver to other people.
Other people also. Correct.
It's a
So,
genuine mission. Go with the thing that go with the thing. You are on a mission, which is the highest mission for
I like
this. You have to go. You are a missionary. A missionary has a different body language.
that. Balaram Prabhu, how do you start if you are giving this? Speak from your heart.
Yeah. I mean, see, the thing is, see, what the audience is like is a little bit
Okay,
like that.
you have
So,
audience
sometimes
potential.
there are different ways of starting. If a family is there, you could, I teach in my charismatic this thing also. You could start with a story also, you know, that if you think one of the stories you can start with, then you could start with a story also,
Hmm.
you know. Um, uh, because it immediately starting, depending on the time, you have decent time, right? It's not like you have 5 minutes. You have decent time, so you can
I have 45 minutes.
so you can start with a story little bit. So that one so there are two stories that we have here. One is Bhagavatam stories are there, but I think any of the Bhagavatam stories not. You can go. I feel that you go to one of the two stories. If you want to follow, then you follow that story of the of the fingers and the hands and all going on a strike.
Hmm.
That story you could go with. Other story is a lottery example, but
Think.
maybe
Oh,
the fingers, the lottery example. You're the only person in the city. You the flows are a little bit different in both of them, but you
correct.
could consider going with the, if you feel comfortable, you go with the story of the finger.
Hmm.
It directly although comes to fundraising. That's one thing. It a little bit maybe too directly comes to fundraising, but
Prabhu, what about telling the story of like a Prabhupada past time? Like a,
or the Prabhupada story.
exactly. I think that is more
Yeah, so you can
relevant
start
for
with the
us.
Prabhupada story. Yes, sorry. You can start with the Prabhupada story. You
Yeah.
can, yeah, because your whole idea was, you know, so it's like everybody will be thinking, so we are doing this process. It seems like from the outside, we are creating a temple, we are creating a building, right? It's a thing of bricks, etc., that we are creating, correct? Right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
we are here becoming beggars, in trying to, uh, you know, encourage people to participate in that. But
Hmm.
what exactly are we doing? It seems like, you know, um, we have to understand it as to what exactly is happening here, trying to go a little bit deeper. And in fact, that's the spirit of the Bhagavad Gita, also, you could say. Arjun became very bewildered, these other things as to, oh, how can I kill? What can I do? And all that. So Krishna just told him that, Arjuna, why don't you just step back a little bit? Let's go a little deeper into what is happening, who we are, and why are we doing what we are doing when we are fighting this battle. So I am also here in a battle right now. We are
Hmm.
trying to, in this entire world which is filled with, in one sense, materialism and all that, we are on a battlefield. You know, we are trying to create a bastion which is going to fight to establish what was the glory of Indian religion and culture and all of that, right?
Hmm.
We're on that battlefield.
That's
So you
right.
already can establish that way also. I'm on this mission.
Hmm.
But it's important to
Hmm.
step back and it's why are we doing it? Why do we need to do that? What is it that we are exactly doing? You know, we are
Hmm.
trying to create this. So you could relate it that way also. That like how I started with. I'm sitting here in front of you right now. I'm very grateful for the time, this and other things and all of that. Right. I'm here right now. But so uh we how did I start with? I forgot. We are here on a
Mission.
yeah. So you could also start with this saying that, I request, I'm very grateful for this time and effort and, all of that you're giving,
Yeah. Yeah.
and really grateful for that. And um, just request your kind, you know, let's say your request your kind attention and absorption in that sense for the next 45 minutes or so. Because truly what we are here is in terms of a mission, or actually you can even say like a battle. So I kind of connecting it that way,
Hmm.
which is really what's happened in the Bhagavad Gita also. You know, Arjuna was there on the battlefield. He was trying to fight, but he got very bewildered. He was struggling, you know, became anxious. became depressed, he was like really in a tough situation. That's why Krishna said, yes, we are on a battlefield, but he said, yes, Arjuna, you are becoming like that because you think you're losing the context as to why we are doing what we are doing, etc. So here I am, we are on this battlefield, we are trying to create this temple, we're trying to create a bastion, we are also in this battle to try to create this bastion of Indian religion and culture, etc., etc. But it's important for us to sometimes step back and listen a little bit
Correct.
to hear a little bit of why we are doing what we are doing, just like Krishna, Arjuna took out time to do that. So here I'm
Mm.
there. So this is one way, because these things get questioned. Why are we creating this temple? What is the need? And all of that, like that. And this question was also asked to our own founder Acharya, His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who ended up creating 108 temples
Mm.
across the world, starting from the age of 70 till the age of 81 that he was there. He ended up creating 108 temples across the world. And something like this, which has never happened, before, that all over the world, the Indian culture was established. So that way also you establish this uniqueness actually of Prabhupada and what we are doing that way, right? It's important to it can be good to glorify that also. So so he was asked this question, and then you can give this example of the boy and this and the three options and all that. So why the temple? The highest option is to connect this destitute boy with his parents. That's who he is looking for. That is the mission we are after. We want to connect the destitute boy to the Supreme Father and Mother. But who is the destitute boy? That is myself. That is my good wife. That's my good friends. That is all of you. That is everybody. That is you also. We are that. Because who are we? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, and you can say, Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jana and mamai vamsha jivaloke. We are that, and we are His. That's the two aspects of our identity. We are eternal, but we are eternally His.
Correct.
So the only way we will actually get the highest benefit if we connect to Him. And this is clarified. If you want, you can quote that verse. Indriyani parahur, indriya paramana, indriya manasastu parabuddhe, yo buddhe paratastu saha. Krishna gives this hierarchy. The matter is there, then senses, then mind, then intelligence, then highest is the soul. So we can benefit people's senses and mind by giving them food, this and other things. But there is higher than that you give them emotional help. We understand that, right? You can give somebody emotional help. He may be distressed emotionally. If you care for them emotionally, that's a higher help. But the highest help is if you help the soul itself. And that is connecting him to God, the Supreme Father and the Supreme Mother. So we are in this highest social welfare mission for the soul, for everybody.
Correct.
To help them connect with their Supreme Person, with the Supreme Father.
You do other things also, but that is like a
but everything else is included in that. That's the point you have to come.
Yes.
You don't say that is outside of it. No, everybody say, well, what about food? Yes, that's included. We'll give you food, all of that. And then you can connect with the examples of Ayodhya and India and all of that. India is like that. The temples were the centers, but all economic opulence and all art and culture and everything spread from there. That's where you will connect. So point two will become connected. It's not outside of it. That's how Krishna includes everything. He's exclusive but all inclusive. This is the beauty of Krishna. He's exclusive. One who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, that verse is also there.
Correct.
One who sees me everywhere sees everything in me. And in fact, it's quoted by Madhvacharya. You may not remember. So Madhvacharya quotes in his commentary on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, I heard in Keshwanand Prabhu's class, that this verse can be utilized that one who sees me everywhere. So people will say, okay, I see God everywhere. I will give to some this poor. I will give to that. Right? But Krishna, note the other verse. Krishna says, one who sees everything in me. So if you give to Krishna, everybody is taken care. It's like the root.
And that is what is the highest charity, because it goes to everybody.
Correct.
The one who
But
sees me everywhere but sees everything. If that's the case, then everybody will get benefited.
but it's not the other way around. So when if you see Krishna everywhere and you're giving to people,
Yes, but that doesn't go to everybody, because that will only go one tiny part. That's right.
correct.
But it will only go to one tiny part of it. So yeah, you can say, "Hey, this is also Krishna," but that's one tiny part. The other person didn't get, na. Another
Hmm.
person did not get. But if you give to Krishna, it will benefit everybody, because you can see this example. All the developments will happen. Okay, it
Hmm.
happens. Then practically you can see. Practically you can see. That's why you give the example. You give. So don't quote that verse if it gets a little confusing. You can avoid that verse. I just shared with you.
Correct, correct. For
You
our
don't have to
understanding.
quote everything, because some people, "Hey, I see you everywhere." You can, but Madhvacharya is saying that no, you have to use the next part. He sees everything in me. And that's why the example of government is good. You will say, I will do this, I will do that. You can do. But if you give to the good government, they will take care of everything. You can't possibly take care of everything.
Correct.
They will take care of your tax money in the best way. The company could give the profit to the company. Don't say, I will take the profit from the company. No, you will get the salary. Don't worry. Everything will be taken care of for you. But you work to give profit to the company. You pass on everything to the father will take care of the whole family. He will
Correct.
give you your required share. You will get it. You will be taken care of, nourished properly. Don't worry. Like that. So that's the thing. Material prosperity will follow spiritual prosperity.
Correct.
So that's what we do. So if you just get this much flow also, right?
Yeah.
Then if you want, you can quote that verse of the Mother Lakshmi coming out and giving to. But I think that one verse can be very useful for you. Tirthe ayate.
Tirthayate. Yes, Prabhu.
That could be one good verse. And another one is Mother Lakshmi coming out looking for the husband. And so he is the root,
Husband,
he is
the
the
perfect
perfect
person.
person, and he is the root. So devotees become happy, demons become unhappy. So we have to become more like devotees and become happy and utilize everything, because he is perfect and he is the root.
Correct.
So this is what we will teach. We will teach all of this. You will become part of this institution where all of this will be taught. It's a premium educational institute taking care of all these aspects, where career and character will all come together. So then you can add these practical things, that this will happen in this temple. This temple will teach everybody this. This temple will give you the best association. I myself got the best friends in the temple. That's why I'm here. You can say when you say something personal, people connect with it more. You have to do both. You have to give principles, but you also have to give stories, but you also give personal examples.
Absolutely. Okay, Prabhu.
You say, I connected with you, get the best people, get the best sangha, then you get the best knowledge, and you get the best skills, and everything getting used, like that. Everything gets used properly. That is the
Hmm.
temple. It's not just a building of bricks. It becomes a home and another home, a spiritual center for the whole society,
Correct.
for the breeding of the culture. Who will not give to that then?
Hmm.
So you become part of this. We are not here to ask. We are here to invite you to become part of, basically, of a family, the larger Vasudhaiva Kutumbikam. The whole earth is a family, and we are asking you to become Vasudevas Kutumbikam. The Vasudhaiva Kutumbikam is a whole earth is a family. That's what it means. But we are also saying Vasudeva Kutumbikam. Krishna become part of Krishna's family. You're inviting them to be part of the family. Automatically they will contribute.
Got it, Prabhu.
You tell them, I am asking for a part of your life, prana, that sense, like that,
Hmm.
you know. Let's give our life, you know, what
Correct.
to speak of
giving any other thing. We want to give our life. Like Jatayu, give our life. Not here to
Correct.
give just. Make sense?
Oh, yes, Prabhuji. Super, Prabhu. So now I got enough.
Yeah.
I
Jai
got
Ho.
it.
Haribol.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Really appreciate it. Okay.
Amazing. Amazing.
Hare Hare Krishna,
I think this
Prabhuji.
helped me also a lot.
And
Wish
I'll
you
let
all
you
the
know.
best. And I pray to Shri Shri Radha, Neelamadha, bless you in the best way. And such dedicated seva you are doing to create a temple in the mission of Srila Prabhupada for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna and the Vaishnavas and the whole world's benefit. So
Prabhuji.
nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Yeah, with your prayers and blessings, we can do something.
Haribol?
Okay, Prabhu. With your prayers and blessings. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, yes, yes. Your voice become a little low. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Thank you. Wonderful, Haribol.
Hare Krishna.